Welcome back to another video. I'm Doliwhop, and today we finally started the journey. 1 year ago to this exact day is the day I finally posted a video that actually did well. Ash Teams Redone, Part 1. In that video, I did the classic PokeTuber move of doing Ash's teams, only I made a golden rule. I can't use anything Ash has caught before. And since I made that series, plus the continuing videos, people have wanted me to do a full-blown rewrite of the anime. Which is where we are today. Today we begin that journey. Alright, disclaimer, teams are not one-to-one to the original videos. If you watch my live streams or you've checked on my community tab, you know I've been open about this. Go check those out if you want more information on certain topics, just so I don't have to go into all the specificity here. It's really just because a year has passed and I have put more thought in these things. So if you're here expecting everything from that list to be canon, well, you're in for some surprises. Which is good, it means y'all don't know what's coming next. Anyways, let's get into it. Exterior shot, Pallet Town. We zoom in and fade to see a young Gary Oak sleeping in his room. It's all organized with his clothes and bags perfectly laid out for the next day. We then fade to a young Green sleeping in a sleeping bag, drool on her chin, and her limbs sprawled out everywhere. Finally, we fade to Ash Ketchum, who is preparing everything he needs for the next day. Professor Oak is on screen pointing out the 3 starter Pokemon, Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. Ash is determined to be awake and ready to get his starter and start his journey. He'll be the first one there. Delia Ketchum enters and informs her son he better get some sleep soon or he'll be exhausted on his big day. Ash promises he will. He sets his clock and falls asleep, ready for tomorrow. The clock rings and Ash silences it after the first ring. It was time. Quickly dressing, he runs out of the house. Exiting his home, the sun is barely cresting over the horizon, bathing the land in orange. Not even the wild Pidgey are awake at this hour. Ash runs all the way to Professor Oak's lab, eager to be first. His face falls when he sees his childhood companions Green and Gary standing there. Gary looks annoyed as Green has a smug look on her face. Gary can't believe she camped outside the lab. Green says he's just mad about her out-of-the-box thinking. She spots Ash and waves, glad to see her good buddy Red finally made it. Gary sneers at Ash, taunting him about being late. Ash is angry and tells Gary he won't be so smug when he beats him in the league. Gary shrugs and says Ash will be lucky if he even makes it there on time. Green smacks Gary on the back of the head and tells him to stop being a jerk. The door opens, revealing a very tired Professor Oak. He welcomes them in with a yawn. Now, back in his day, kids like to sleep in. Gary said that Oak told them that they could show up in the morning. Technically, it was now morning, so here they were. Oak mutters something about crazy children and allows them in. He brings them to the lab and asks who got there first. Green eagerly waves her hand, declaring it was her. Oak reveals 2 Pokeballs on a stand. He says that she can choose from the Grass-type Bulbasaur or the Water-type Squirtle. Ash asks what about Charmander? Oak looks a bit embarrassed as he mentions that another young trainer beat them there this morning. He obtained Charmander and left. The kids were slack-jawed. Who managed to beat them? Ash quickly does the math and goes white, realizing that he's the odd man out here. Green looks apologetic, but she still chooses Bulbasaur. It's Green, like her. Gary walks up and claims Squirtle, telling Ash he snoozes, he loses. Oak hands both kids their Pokedex and Pokeballs. Gary walked out telling Ash better luck next time. Green pats Ash on the shoulder and declares she'll go kick Blue's ass for being a jerk and runs out as well. Ash desperately asks Oak if there's anything left for him. Oak scratches the back of his head and says he might have something. He brings out another Pokeball, declaring it to be a Pokemon he caught this morning that he found chewing on his cables. It's low level enough that Ash could use it. He brings out Pikachu. Ash says it's perfect and immediately picks it up in a hug. Pikachu gets angry and shocks him. Oak explains that Pikachus are usually shy, but they can have electrifying personalities. Ash can see what he means. Ash obtains his Pokeballs and Pokedex from the professor, with Pikachu getting one last shock in at both of them. Exiting the building, still charred from the double electric blast, Ash meets his mom at the bottom of the hill. Delia hands him his forgotten bag and hat, telling him she knew he'd forget something. Ash thanks her, putting on both. Delia notices Pikachu on the ground and asks who this is. Ash introduces Pikachu as his starter Pokemon. Delia finds him adorable, but questions why he's not in his Pokeball. Ash had forgotten to do that. He tries to return Pikachu, but he bounces the ball back in Ash's hands. Delia laughs, happy to see them getting along. Ash doesn't really see it that way. He decides to get going. Delia says goodbye and reminds him to remember to change his underwear. Ash grabs Pikachu and runs off, embarrassed but ready to start his journey. As he takes off, he doesn't see a strange-looking Pokemon watching him curiously from Oak's lab. It waddles after him. Not too long after he leaves, Pikachu shocks him again. Ash quickly lets go as Pikachu gives him a defiant look. This isn't working. Inspecting his bag, he pulls out a pair of rubber gloves. He quickly dons them and snatches Pikachu back up. Pikachu tries to shock him, but the gloves prevent it. Ash tells Pikachu that they're partners now and they have to work together. Pikachu disagrees. A chirp is heard in the distance, catching their attention. A Pidgey's in the grass pecking at the ground. Ash's eyes gleam as he sees an opportunity. He recalls the basics he's learned from knowing Professor Oak his entire life. To catch a Pokemon, he has to battle it to weaken it first and then throw a Pokeball. He sets Pikachu down and is ready to battle, but realizes he doesn't know Pikachu's moves. Using his Pokedex, he finds out it knows Thunder Shock. He orders Pikachu to use Thunder Shock, but Pikachu hops into a tree instead. Ash pleads with Pikachu. He likes Pikachu and thinks they can be great friends. Can't they just get along? Pikachu looks away dismissively. Ash decides to try and catch Pidgey on his own. Using one of the Pokeballs, he tries to throw it, but misses, the ball hitting a tree and bouncing right back into Ash's face. The Pidgey is alerted and flies off. Pikachu laughs at Ash's misfortune, causing him to get angry. He yells at the mouse, only to get told to shut up. Ash blinks. Pikachu can talk? He sounds like a girl. A redheaded girl comes out of the woods and says that it was her. His yelling is scaring all the water-type Pokemon away. Who does he think he is? He's Ash Ketchum, future Pokemon Master. Who's she? She introduces herself as Misty. She's a water-type Pokemon Master. Ash is surprised that someone his age is already a Master. Misty gets slightly embarrassed and says she's not one yet, but she's close. Ash thinks she's full of it. To cover up her embarrassment, she says they should battle and he'll see. Ash agrees. He'll fight using Pikachu. Misty looks at the tree-bound Pokemon and questions if he'll even listen to him. Of course he will, Ash assures, looking hopefully at Pikachu, who scoffs. Misty brings out Staryu. She has Staryu use Water Gun on Pikachu, who simply jumps out of the way to the ground. Ash calls for Thunder Shock, but Pikachu picks at his ear instead. Misty has Staryu use Tackle, which does make contact with Pikachu. This enrages Pikachu, who fires off a powerful Thunder Shock that hits Staryu and takes it out. Misty and Ash are both shocked at the turn of events. Ash shakes it off quickly and taunts Misty, saying, "Who's the Pokemon Master now?" Misty returns Staryu and hops her buck, yelling at Ash that he didn't do anything. Pikachu did all the work on his own. Next time he won't be so lucky. Before she bikes off, leaving the two alone. Ash says Pikachu did great and extends a hand to him. He's super strong, and if he listens to Ash, they'll be able to beat anyone, especially that smug-faced Gary. Pikachu slaps Ash's hand away, which pisses the boy off. He insults Pikachu for his bad attitude. Pikachu fires off a Thunder Shock towards Ash, who falls back to dodge it. Unfortunately for the duo, it hit an unintended mark. The grass behind them is filled with screeches as a flock of angry Spearow appear, singed from the electrical attack. Both boy and mouse pale. With danger heading towards them, they take off running. As they run, the rain starts to pick up and the sky thunders. They're exhausted but keep moving. The Spearow flock is relentless. Pikachu slips on some mud, sending him to the ground. Seeing this, Ash stops in his tracks. The Spearow see the fallen Pokemon and attack. Pikachu is pelted with blows before Ash jumps in and swings his bag at the birds to fight them off. He tells Pikachu to run and leave it to him. It's clear that Ash isn't a match for the flock. Pikachu is touched by the boy's intentions, though. Using Ash as a springboard, Pikachu leaps into the air and lets loose a powerful blast of electricity. The blast knocks out a lot of the Spearow and sends the rest running. Ash and Pikachu lay in the mud together, finally able to rest after the endurance test they were put through. Ash thanks Pikachu for saving him. He's sorry for insulting him. Pikachu looks a bit regretful of his own actions, and the two share a moment of camaraderie. The storm clouds begin to part and the rain stops, letting the sunlight through. The duo look up to see a golden bird flying across the sky, a rainbow appearing behind it. Ash tries to scan it with his Pokedex, but no data is found. Ash is amazed there are still Pokemon yet to be discovered. With the storm over and the danger out of the way, the duo get up and trudge onwards to Viridian City. Entering the city, Ash is in luck as they pass by an Officer Jenny. Officer Jenny sees how injured the two are and offers them a ride to the Pokemon Center, which they agree to. They meet Nurse Joy, who wants to be mad at Ash for Pikachu's state, but seeing how roughed up he is, can't chastise him too hard. She declares that Pikachu is exhausted from using too much of his electricity and needs rest. While she handles that, Ash calls his mom and updates her on his status. Ash sees a screen behind Nurse Joy's desk showing off 4 ancient stone tablets, 3 birds and 1 dog. Ash doesn't recognize any of them, but thinks one resembles the bird he saw. The phone begins to ring at Nurse Joy's desk, and seeing as she's busy, Ash answers and is met with Professor Oak. Oak's momentarily confused but happy upon realizing Ash has made it to Viridian City. He had some doubts that Ash and Pikachu would get along, but is happy to see they made it there perfectly safe. Ash laughs a little morbidly at that statement. He and Pikachu are better than they were, at least he thinks so. Oak tells him to keep up the effort. He knows Green and Gary are already past Viridian, which makes Ash slump. At this rate, they're gonna beat him. Well, at least Pikachu and him are better. Oak wishes him luck, but his pizza just arrived, so he has to go. Nurse Joy brings out Pikachu on a gurney. He has a little battery attached to his cheeks to help him recharge. Nurse Joy hopes Ash takes better care of himself and his Pokemon. It's an important skill for a trainer to learn. The two's conversation is interrupted as smoke fills the center. The Team Rocket trio of Jesse, James, and Meowth have broken in and are here to steal all the Pokemon. Using their coughing and Ekans, they attack. Nurse Joy and Ash flee to the Pokemon storage room. Team Rocket kills the power though. Luckily, Nurse Joy has a backup generator to get the system back on so she can transfer all the Pokemon out of there. Ash is surprised to find the backup generator is actually a group of Pikachu on a treadmill. It gets the room working and the Pokeballs begin to get transferred. The doors are blown up by Team Rocket before they can finish though. Ash doesn't know what to do, but an idea hits him. Pikachu is strong. He remembers how he took up Misty Staryu and that flock of Spearow in one shot. All he needed was power. He asks Nurse Joy if she can have the other Pikachu use Thunder Shock on his Pikachu. Nurse Joy asks why, but Ash says it's their only shot at beating these crooks. She's hesitant, but falls through. Ash's Pikachu is overtaken by a massive blast of electricity. Team Rocket is taken off guard that Ash would have his own Pokemon attacked. This twerp is insane! Rather than damaging it though, Pikachu is strengthened by the power and feels at the top of his game. Ash grins and asks Pikachu if he's ready to battle now. Pikachu grins back and nods, cheeks sparking with electricity. Ash orders Pikachu to use Thunder Shock and Pikachu for the first time listens. A bolt of electricity strikes the Team Rocket members and sends them blasting off. Nurse Joy is surprised if Pikachu can have that much power. Ash says his Pikachu isn't your average Pikachu. He's the best there ever was. Pikachu looks proud of that. We then cut to a blasted away Team Rocket. Jesse and James are disoriented and surprised that a Pikachu can be that strong. It was unnatural. They had to steal it, for the boss and Team Rocket. Meowth, though, is pissed. He can't believe some electric rodent beat him so easily. He wasn't the strongest Pokemon on the block, but he can't lose to a mouse of all things. The next time they encountered Pikachu, it was in for the butt-kicking of its life. And that was episode 1. Short, I know, but I wanted to test the waters and get a foothold in before trying to commit myself to a very long video. This is really to generate interest and get us into the verse. The hard part of starting a series like this is getting into the series and actually making it, so starting episode 1 is kind of the encouragement I need to really delve into this. The next episodes will usually contain either a gym battle or a major event. I'm not trying to have Kanto be 40 parts. I don't have an exact number, but 10 would feel great. I don't think we can do it due to the details I put in here, but it's nice to dream. My ultimate goal here is to make a satisfying rewrite where it holds the spirit of the Pokemon anime while updating it and making an actual cohesive series. I don't want this to feel like Doliwhop's fanfiction Ash with all the cliches. You guys know what I'm talking about. You've read or watched those videos where it's just like, this is Ash, the strongest trainer in the world, or it's like Paul or Gary wearing Ash's skin, you know? Like, I want to keep the essence of Ash Ketchum. It's not going to be 1-for-1 because no one can write a 1-for-1 Ash Ketchum just because, you know, any changes I make it not Ash Ketchum. But we're going to try. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. I'm working on episode 2 as we speak and already have the script recorded, so hopefully it should come out soon. Anyways, guys, have a Merry Christmas and I'll see you all next time.